Welcome to Girls Central, brought to you by the YWCA Santa Monica Westside. For years, the YWCA has led the way in programs to build strong and confident girls. My name is Jackie, and we have a great show for you today. Let me start by asking my friends a get-to-know-you question. What's your zodiac sign, and how does it align with your personality?
So, I'm Meredith, and my zodiac sign is a Taurus, and basically they're known for being stubborn and accepting things as they are. And I can say I'm a very stubborn person.
My name is Jalen, and I'm a Pisces. And Pisces are just so emotional and sensitive and caring and loving. And I can definitely relate because sad movies make me cry all the time. It never fails.
I'm Brenda, and I'm an Aquarius, and I can relate because I have a very unconventional and idealistic way of thinking, and I'm also quite inquisitive, so it just matches perfectly.
And I'm a Virgo, and they are very headstrong, very OCD, organized, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And that is definitely.
You seem like
Definitely. All right, thanks, girls. Okay, so today we'll discuss hot topics affecting teen girls, show you the Vogue My Choice video, and later on, Unadi will bring back our career segment to show you what it takes to be an attorney.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
Let's talk. Unfortunately, our first topic is very prevalent in our society and schools. It's slut shaming, and the act of making a female feel guilty about certain sexual behaviors that deviate from societal norms.
Yeah.
For example, if a girl's called a slut for wearing something provocative and gossip spreads, her reputation is ruined, and she would have to fight to protect her name. Feminist researchers present the case as drawing a line for women to be sexual, but not too sexual. Slut shaming tears down and hurts girls, yet there is a double standard in which boys are praised for heightened sexual activity. What do you girls think about this topic?
I think it's completely unfair and sexist because if a girl were to hook up with a guy, just one guy, she would already get slut shamed. People would be like, oh, she's a slut. But if a guy hooks up with 10 girls,
They're like, yeah, bro.
right?
And even
They're
with
they
hookup,
praise them.
Even with the word hookup, it means so many different things. It can mean making out, it can mean having sex, it means so many different things, and people jump to conclusions about girls.
That's why people
Another thing
say
is
things,
slut shaming, it doesn't even always come from men or young boys. It comes a lot from women who have internalized misogyny and they want the acceptance of males. So they're like, you're a slut. And it's like, no.
And I completely agree with Meredith. So much slut shaming is also if you act too much like a slut, then or too little like a slut
how
as
you
well.
dress.
It can be
too
if
prudy.
you're too prude.
Oh my gosh.
But a guy's
Those words too.
upheld for it.
You can never be
Too much.
Exactly.
You can never
and the
perfect
thing is,
Yeah.
with a slut, there's no definition for it. Someone can think you're a slut for kissing 2 guys, and someone will think you're a slut for sleeping with 5 guys. But the point is, it doesn't matter which one you do because it's your body.
Exactly.
And a lot of slut shaming is girl on girl fighting. Girls love to tear each other down, which is so frustrating. And if you guys know Amy Poehler, she was on Saturday Night Live.
I love her.
She was on Parks and Rec. She's one of my favorite actresses. And something she says is that girls, instead of just tearing each other down, should say, well, good for her, but not for me.
Exactly. You do you.
You do you.
Do your own thing.
Have you guys heard the song "Flawless" by Beyonce?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you know the intro part where it's talking about feminism. That's from an author and just a scholar. Her name is Chimamanda Adichie, and she's a feminist, and she talks about how women are told to cross their legs and do this and hide what they're born with as if they should be ashamed of their body. And it's we need to stop these
if you've got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, and if you want to engage in sexual activity, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you don't, you don't have to. It's all up to you.
And it's always
up
towards
to you.
Don't take it to heart because you're never gonna be perfect. If you have too much what you are called a slut for, then that's not going to be good. But also if you don't act slutty enough, you're too prude. And even if you don't if you're not prude or slutty, you're still not perfect. You're too boring.
There's never a medium.
You're never going to be
there's
perfect.
never
so just do what makes you feel good.
And so many guys use slut as an insult against girls who don't have sex with them or
and
whatever.
there are guys that
The
are way
thing
worse than
is,
girls.
It's always towards girls at the height of their sexual maturity. When girls and boys are teenagers, that's when all these hormones are going crazy, and you're shaming girls for trying things and experiencing these feelings
and telling boys that they should be trying things.
Exactly.
It's such a double standard, such a gender binary.
You're supposed to help young girls feel better about themselves.
Just every woman in
they're
general.
so vulnerable
girls,
at the teenage age.
Girls need supporting. They don't need another thing tearing them down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like if we don't have support from guys, the least we can have support from is each other, like other females.
Like don't tear down other girls.
Yeah, definitely. All right. In high school, many teen girls face the issue of living up to other people's expectations of themselves. This can create a lot of pressure to become something you may not agree with or have the desire to do. Have you girls ever struggled with this?
Personally, I haven't struggled with it. Like, my parents are very open to letting things, but I do know parental expectations can be very detrimental.
I know parents that are like, oh, you have to get straight A's, you have to get into this college, and you have to become a doctor.
No, yeah, and the thing is, have you guys heard of a rapper called Tyler, the Creator?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on, I think it was like Jimmy Fallon, some talk show, and he was talking about how he has friends that their parents wanted them to be a lawyer, so they're in debt. They went through all these years of school to be a lawyer, and that's not even what they want to do themselves. And you just live a depressing life.
I know someone like that. They actually like went to law school and they're a lawyer and they're unhappy with their job.
Exactly, and it's because your parents would have wanted that.
Not on such like a high level. Like I have a friend, and like she made a deal with her mom that she only has to take 4 AP classes. If you don't know what AP classes are, it's in high school taking a college level class, so you can get the college credit. And I mean, I think that's ridiculous. I mean, you're still learning what you need to. You don't need to put so much pressure on yourself. Like, my parents are so great with that. Like, they're happy as long as I have my A's and B's, and it's like a healthy expectation that can help me grow.
Because without some sort of expectation and desire for your child to succeed, or just even your friends to succeed, you're not going to have that drive.
And you need to have your own self-expectations, your own
don't
goals.
Always go like through people's expectations, or else you're never going to be happy.
Like, they can be healthy, but they can also like have the exact opposite effect.
But it shouldn't really be an expectation. It should be more of like,
do what you're
like
capable
cheering
of
them
doing.
on, like you can do this. Like I believe
especially
that
with
you can
friends,
do that.
especially with friends,
Oh my God.
because you need
Friends
to
have to
support
be
your
there for
friends.
each other. Like be like realistic. Like don't be like, oh, my daughter's gonna have like a 4.0 GPA and go to Harvard. Like if she wants to become like a fashion designer.
Like my mom for the longest time, she's like, yeah, you're gonna get scholarships and you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that, and I was like,
no.
It's just hard because especially in school, like there's so few things you can do to, make yourself stand out as far as academics, but you can do so many things, and I don't think parents and friends recognize that.
Exactly.
You can, you can be an excellent
because
actor.
sometimes like they want you to do things that they didn't do. You know?
But at the same time, like don't go to the extreme of not having any expectations for your child or friend, because then that can cause them to have the opposite
But I still think
effect.
expectations just has a negative connotation, because it's like, I expect you to do this. I say like goals, have goals for your child. Like,
goals.
I want my child to graduate with hopefully at least like a 2.7, 2.8, 3.0, 3.5, set like just reasonable goals.
And do it and go into something that makes you happy. That's the most important thing with expectations.
That's what you should want for your friends,
also
family,
know if you
anything.
don't reach a certain expectation, life goes on. It's not like if you like do bad on a test, you're gonna become homeless and everything will go wrong. No, there's always a way to like figure something out. Like if you don't accept it, get accepted to the college you want to.
Don't just be like no expectations.
Oh no, exactly.
Have
a happy
just don't have a negative
find your path is what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good way to
go
do
on your
it.
own pace. Like you know what you can handle, and just go with that.
Do what you're capable of doing.
Exactly. Don't push yourself
exactly
farther than you should be.
Have you guys ever struggled with like parents or friends telling you that you need to do this or that?
Personally, no.
Yes.
Not really.
Well, thank you guys for sharing. Something trending today are social media challenges. With so many teens on social media, it's possible for a challenge to spread to the millions in just a day. Some of them are easy and fun, and some of them have been proven to be dangerous. What do you girls think about social media challenges?
I don't like to do them. I don't, but I've heard of many.
Some of them are good, and some of them are just like really dumb. Like the Kylie Jenner lip challenge.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That one was really dangerous. Like a lot of people have like cleft lips or like busted lips, or have to like go to the hospital to get it sewn shut. Like
it's horrible.
It's stupid.
Why
don't
would you
do it. It's not worth it.
But there are some that are fun, Like I think. Do you remember the cinnamon challenge?
I did that. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's still dangerous.
It's still dangerous.
Wait. Do you guys know Glozell?
Yeah, that was.
Wait, what's that?
She has
YouTuber.
her like she's a YouTuber, and she did it. She's like the funniest person.
She got a huge spoon of. I mean,
she got like a huge thing, and she was just like dying.
It can be done because it's not. The thing is like the cinnamon dries the saliva in your mouth and it's like swallowing it.
Yeah,
but I mean,
that can
like,
make you choke.
There's like other harmless ones. Like, do you guys remember planking? Like the planking challenge,
where you would like
lay down on random objects.
And
I think that was like the most harmless.
Okay, but a challenge that was like in a way like good good was the ice bucket challenge.
I think it made ASL really like more aware. Like people knew more about it once it started. Is it ASL or ALS?
Oh.
See, there are teenagers who are doing it to post it on Instagram, and you don't even know what ALS is. Like, you don't even know what the disease is. You'd be better off just writing, like donating $10. Yeah, but it's like people were doing it just to be
people
funny.
still did it though. Like people still donated after.
Did you guys hear about this new social media challenge that's huge in China? It's called the belly button challenge. It's where you reach your arm around your back and try to touch your belly button, and supposedly, supposedly it's like if you can do it, then you have an ideal body because you have long arms and like a thin stomach. Oh, that infuriates me to no.
Okay, because that's gonna cause like people to like become like anorexic or have some sort of eating disorder, or like pop their shoulder out of the socket or something. Like it's just stupid.
This girl who was 88 pounds just normally couldn't do it because she didn't have long enough arms. I'm a normal sized human being and I can't do it. And there's
terrible.
like
there's another like expectations, unrealistic.
Look, I can touch my belly button. I'm fine. Like we're good.
I can see it.
It's there. Like your life, like your weight depends on your age, your diet, your height,
your
like
stress
it's so
levels.
many factors. It's not just like you're 15. You should be like 95 pounds. Like that's not how it works.
You should be able to put.
Like if you're naturally 95 pounds, that's great. Like don't like starve yourself or don't overeat as well.
Yeah,
like
because it depends. It fluctuates.
It's your
like
body
your body
type.
Exactly. There is no ideal body type. And if you're like referring to things in the media. Especially that's always edited. Like even the model doesn't look like that, so I wouldn't try to look like that.
On the media,
that's what it makes me so angry. Is like it's like a harmless social media challenge, but it really has a deeper issue behind it that girls are so concerned about their bodies.
Social media in general, like that already like brings a big like thing to everyone.
Okay, don't take challenges too seriously. That's like the main point of this.
It's supposed to be fun for people to like connect with no matter where you are. But it shouldn't be harmful to other people or yourself.
Do you guys remember the salt and ice challenge and how people were getting burns from
that? I forgot about that.
The one where you put salt on your skin and then ice.
That's a bad idea. If it hurts yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not fun.
All right. Do you know what time it is? It's time for shout-outs.
Shout-outs!
All right. So I want to give a shout out to my mom because
shout out mom.
It was her birthday this weekend.
Happy birthday! I want to give a shout out to RuPaul.
Shout out RuPaul!
One of the greatest drag queens in the history of drag queens with like 7 seasons of her own show.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yes, Ru.
Okay, I want to give a shout out to my friend Amy.
Shout out Amy!
Because she's got my back in history. She's getting me the notes that I've missed.
I feel.
So great.
That's very helpful to be
honest. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Kara.
Shout out Kara!
So she's at BU. She graduated last year, and she just talked me through the college process and said it's so much better than it seems. So it definitely calmed me down a lot.
That's great.
That's really great.
All right, that's it for our convo, but stay with us because coming up next, Unati will be speaking to our special guest, Jamilla Harris.
Hey.
Welcome back to Girl Central. I'm Unati, and today on our career segment, we're showing you what it takes to be an attorney. It's pretty different from what you see on movies like Legally Blonde, so listen up here, okay? Because today with us is Jamilla Harris. Hello, Jamilla.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Oh my gosh, thanks for coming on. So, awesome stuff about Jamilla is she went to Long Beach Poly High School. You also graduated from USC and Western Law School.
Yes.
Very good schools. So, welcome again.
Thank you.
So, I've heard some really cool stuff about you before we get into it. Okay. So, on top of being an attorney, you find time to do your reading, you hang out with loved ones, but you also love game shows.
Yes. I'm an addict. It's my guilty pleasure.
It's okay. Safe space. Safe space.
Yes.
And you've also been on a game show, Minute to Win It.
Yes.
Yeah, if you guys know it, she was on that.
Had so much fun.
Oh my God. Well, the camera loves you, so I'm glad you're back.
Thank you.
And I have so many questions. I mean, a lot of girls out there want to get involved with law because it's just a very amazing career that you have here.
Yes.
Sounds like you've probably spent a lot of time in classrooms, right?
A lot.
Yes, yeah. So from all that time you've done learning and being in the classroom, what skills learned in school have been the most helpful for you in your career?
I would say being able to communicate effectively with others, being very, very persuasive and determined.
Wow.
You have to be determined despite when people come to you, you have obstacles, you have to tell yourself that you can do whatever you put your mind to.
Right, because you can't really go in the courtroom and just kind of be like, I think that this is wrong, right?
No, very confident.
Yeah, yeah. So when you were younger, were you able to persuade people a lot?
All the time.
Awesome, awesome.
My siblings, I would say I was their advocate, going to my parents to say, hey, we shouldn't have to do these chores, so we need an increase in our allowance.
Okay.
So it started when I was younger.
That is awesome. So for those of you out there who have the same experience, law might be something that is for you. And those are things you can use.
Absolutely.
For sure. So what other skills do you recommend for someone pursuing this career?
Besides being persuasive and confident?
Yeah.
I would say being...
Like if I'm shy or, you know, I don't like to be around people, is that helpful for it, or?
It's not, but you always have to have the balance. So you don't always be the want to be the one talking in the room.
Okay.
You have to be able to listen as well.
Wow.
Because you're going to have arguments that you need to refute and combat. So being a good listener is very important. And that's a skill that's not often taught in the classroom. It just comes with experience.
Ah, I see. Well, they say like you have 2 ears, so you can listen twice as much as you speak.
Exactly.
So there it is right there. There are many people's minds, including mine and probably many of you girls back home, a lawyer has like all these different all these different cases just coming at them all the time, you know, like, oh, object, and oh, this new one, that's awesome. So is it hectic? I mean, you look great, you know, your hair looks awesome. Is your schedule flexible for you to be able to just look fabulous and do what you want to do?
It is very time consuming, but I have learned over the years to find balance in my life. And so I make time for my friends, make time for my family, have the time for the career, but I make time for myself as well. Manicures, pedicures, massages, just to make sure that you're a well-balanced person, because you don't want to let the courtroom or your clients drive you crazy. Right. And so I found balance in my life.
So having that balance to keep your sense of sanity and your sense of self, to be able to win these cases is probably really important.
And having fun outside of the courtroom, so when I go in, it's like almost you're changing personalities a little bit, because you have to be a new person when you walk into the courtroom.
Right, right.
Be refreshed and revived.
Yes, so you can walk in there and win it.
Win it, yes.
So if I'm coming in for an interview, I want to be an intern, or any of these girls want to jump into this career of being a lawyer, what would you look for in a resume if you're hiring somebody?
I look for the courses you've taken in class.
Okay.
I look for your work experience, volunteer, community work, and any organizations that you've been a part of, because that shows me that you're well-rounded.
Okay, so it's more than just your GPA.
Absolutely.
It's more than the school you went to?
Absolutely.
So if I was in, let's say, an after-school program and I was the president, that's something you want to see?
That shows me leadership skills.
Oh, great.
Outside of just being a student.
Okay.
I want to see that you're able to balance and multitask, because your resume must come to life when I see it.
Right. You're more than just a piece of paper. You're a person.
Exactly.
So girls at home, if you're doing any kind of after-school stuff, you can totally use that when you're going into these careers, which is so exciting.
Right.
You bring you to everything you do.
Everything.
Yeah. So looking forward, are there any trends that will make this career choice more or less attractive in the future?
Well, with the rise of technology, people may think that we're replaceable because, oh, well, I can just go and Google it.
Right, right.
Or I can just go and find a form online. But what you don't want to miss is that human interaction and being able to go call an attorney or go into their office and them give you advice. I'm trained. I have years of experience, not just work experience, but education to validate my experience. So I think it's important that to remember you will not be replaced as an attorney because of technology.
That is so key. So for those of you at home who are like, I don't know if this is going to continue to be a lucrative career, it totally is. Computers will not take over the world and take over being a lawyer for you. You'll be fine, right? Yeah.
Even some of the older attorneys, they're retiring. They're dying. And so attorneys need to be replaced.
Circle of life.
Circle
of life.
Yeah.
Right? So what, if anything, would you do differently on your career journey, looking back?
I would have studied a little harder to get scholarships more. I got a few grants for undergrad, none for law school. Okay. And I would have loved to get out of college and law school debt-free.
Oh my goodness.
And so, you know, if you aren't able to get scholarships, that's fine. There are loans and other ways to supplement, but I think it's important to start young, to look for those scholarships and work really hard so that you can get those scholarships based on your GPA, or potpourri scholarships are what we call them, that are you get scholarships for other things besides just your GPA.
So like what other things do you mean? Like it doesn't have to be just my GPA that gets me a scholarship?
No, it can be community service.
Okay.
It can be because you're left-handed. You're the first one in your family to go to school, and all of those are readily available, but you have to avail yourself and work really hard
to get them.
You may have to spend a weekend while your friends are partying or hanging out or going to the mall. You may have to spend a weekend going through all of the scholarships, writing the essays, taking the time, and really pushing yourself.
And it's so worth it because you could get a free ride into college, a free ride into law school, and be debt-free, which is amazing.
And not put the pressure on your parents or your family.
Right. So it's a great independent move, ladies. So if you want to, get a head start on this, really it can start sooner than later, right now. Look up these scholarships. If you're a lefty, if you're a person of color as well, they have a lot of scholarships for that kind of thing too. And you said also recreational activities.
Community involvement, community service, and volunteer work.
So there's lots of venues you can take. That is so awesome. So we're going to kind of switch gears.
Okay.
Because you just seem like you've really gone after your passion in life. So when you were younger, if you could have your teenage Jamilla sitting across from you right now, what words of advice would you have for her?
I would tell her that she can do whatever she puts her mind to. Never let anyone stop her or convince her that she's not good enough. Because you are good enough to go after your dreams. Even today when I walk into a courtroom, I don't see people who look like me. And it can be very intimidating because when I walk in, people don't think I'm an attorney. They may think I'm some other profession because I'm a woman and because I'm African American. And when I come in, they automatically assume I'm something else. So when I tell them I'm the attorney on this case, they are impressed. And I would never want a little girl to look and say, oh, because there's no one here that looks like me, I can't do it. Go after your dreams, be passionate, and never let anyone tell you that you can't do it.
That is like beautiful, beautiful words. And for those of you at home, take those to heart. There are a lot of obstacles that can be out there, but that does not mean you can't do it and follow your dreams just like Jamilla, Gosh, so you probably have to be in control in your profession. We're going to switch gears again, be on top of it and be confident. So really, what does girl power mean to you? What is your definition of girl power?
You hit it right on. It's confidence. I tell the people that I mentor, 50% is what you know, the other 50% is confident, and go in and be yourself and be amazing in every area of your life.
I love it. Yay. So girls, take those words to heart because they can get you a long way just believing in yourself like that.
Absolutely.
So thanks for coming in, Jamilla.
You're welcome.
A pleasure to have you. And it was great to get your insight into your career as an attorney. I mean, your advice is something that many of you girls back home can use to go and navigate the world of law. Hey, will you join us for our traditional ending dance?
Absolutely, I would love that.
Yes, awesome. Well, all right, girls, that's our show for tonight. Thanks so much for tuning into Girl Central. Stay confident, and we will see you next week, same time, same place. Peace.